Just a little observation that I decided to make in the middle of dictating my book. And of course, this book is the one that I wrote over 5 years ago, my first real attempt at long form narrative fiction. I'm not going to tell you exactly why I'm dictating it, but nevertheless, I do have plans for this in the very, very near future, within probably the next couple of weeks. So, stay tuned for that. But nevertheless, let me know if this happens to you, because really it seems as though that this is a common problem, or has been for me for many years, from the years of about maybe 17 until about 20. I have experienced this, and it all started when I had decided to check out at the library Edgar Rice Burroughs' A Princess of Mars. I had read this, or at least part of the way read it, back when I was around 17 or so, and I had wanted to basically read it again because really the only Edgar Rice Burroughs I've read is The Land That Time Forgot, and part of this, and I wanted to revisit it. But as I was looking at it, you can see there, at least I think you can see there, about maybe a third of the way into the book, the pages are a bit they're a bit dirty, and they're stained, and those stains, it's a bit darker than usual, but those stains are actually from my fingers. Basically, the oils in your hands, I suppose, uh, bleed onto the pages of the book as you're holding it open, and it makes, I suppose, that very unpleasant impression, leaves it behind for the rest of the time that you have this book in your possession. And I find that particularly annoying. I have a couple other examples here. I have Robertson Davies' The Rebel Angels. This was my first Robertson Davies book. And you can see that there's a very prominent line going down the side of it. That was from when I read this when I was about, what, 18 or 19 or so. And you can see just very ugly and dirty. We have here one of my favorites, Paul du Chaillu's Explorations, Adventures in Equatorial Africa. I talked about this book endlessly, it seemed, a couple of years ago when I reviewed R.N. Ballantyne's Unforgivable Forgery, The Gorilla Hunters, which, believe it or not, I am thinking of reading again. Don't ask me why. Well, actually, I could tell you why. It's because that book may well have some insights into just more universal things than just, the inherent plagiarism that has gone on. But nevertheless, I had received this for Christmas when I was 15, and you can see there, just ugly. It's really bad down there, and I really am unsure what to do about it. Here we have The Bridge Over the River Kwai by Pierre Boulle, one of my favorite writers, whom I've not talked about too much. And you can see there, or actually, can you see there? You probably can't tell, but the page edges are a bit darker now. And also, another thing, that little indentation there that you see on the back cover, that was not there before when I started reading it. That was made by my thumb when I was holding the book. No, my thumb and my index finger when I was holding the book like that, and it sort of made that little crease. Does that also happen to you as well? Do let me know, because I'm certain this problem is not one that plagues me. exclusively. Here we have J.M. Coetzee's Disgrace, which I remembered reading back in 2019. So this was about near the end of this whole period. And you can see that it's a bit less than what it used to be. But the prime example of this that I want to show off, because really this is the first time that I noticed it. And knew that this was a constant among at least my own reading experience. I'm not entirely sure if anyone else possesses this affliction or not, but nevertheless, this is the Necronomicon, the best weird tales of H.P. Lovecraft. This was my very first edition of Lovecraft that I received back in 2015 for Christmas from my brother. And I originally said in one of these book unhauls that I was going to get rid of it because I was going to try and see if I can find a better edition. I have the complete fiction already, so there's really no need for it. But I just couldn't deal the part with this because my brother got me this. It's been beaten and brutalized all to hell. But nevertheless, I do remember this fondly. And this is probably the case that you could see the worst effects of the damage, particularly there. There's just a big black line going down. I believe that's where the thing on the doorstep is housed. And I know that because my brother and I had read aloud the thing on the doorstep together back when I had received this volume. And we had just worked on his car, or he had just worked on his car and had oil on his hands. I'm not entirely sure if that's what happened, but nevertheless. And then there's even another one right there that was made by me later on. So I have no idea exactly what's going on with this whole thing. Perhaps it's the oils in my hands that have somehow seeped through into the grain of the paper and have just basically polluted it. It doesn't seem to happen as much anymore, if at all, because we have here a copy of Samuel Butler's Erewhon, and you can see that's pretty much clean. Or is it clean? Yeah, that's pretty much clean. And we obviously have here Mary Shelley's Frankenstein. That's also pretty much clean. So, let me know if you've all experienced this and what you think the cause could potentially be for this very bizarre affliction of mine.